Hi, and welcome back to part 2 of Triangulation Development number 2. Well, it's pretty obvious looking at the screen that the first thing we need to do is to get rid of the previous developments. So I'm going to go up and do that now. Remember, you go up to Layer Properties Manager, double click it, and then hit the left hand on one of these stacks of papers, which means you're going to make a new layer, just like that. Once we've done that, we can close that down, and now we can go and select all of our circles, all of our lines. So I'm just going to go in there and get the lines. I'm going to go and grab these two, that one, and if I'm lucky, I won't even miss anything this time. So there we go, last one. Once you've got everything and you're fairly sure that everything is selected, do a right hand click, go to Properties, click the layer, down click, and turn it all onto layer 1. Then we can close up the properties by clicking the top X, and we can now open up the layer management menu and then turn off that layer. So this is our pattern so far, and we've just got the two pieces at the side. That's this small one here and this small one there. Now you can see that the only thing that we'll need to develop is this line here and that line there, because these other two are flat to view. That means we can put our circles directly from here over onto the ends of the pattern. Okay, it's going to be the same size both sides because we've halved the pattern, so both halves are an equal length. So I'm just going to go up with my layer set to 0, and then my buyer layer is on, so I'm in white, and I'm going to grab a circle. And I'm going to come down here, and it doesn't matter what side you measure, and I'm just going to pull that thing across like so. Next thing is to copy it, and copy that one circle from its center point to both this end and this end of the pattern. And I'll say again, just in case you didn't quite understand why I'm putting it on both ends, that distance there on the flat and that distance there on the flat are identical, which means you can measure one and it's going to be the same if I put another circle on there. It'd just be a waste of time. So I'll just put those two on there, and now we need to find out whereabouts down here and down here that the intersection is going to occur, and that can only be measured by doing this final point, because we have that point there at that point there, and we have that point there up there at the top. So the next thing I need to do is to make a color. I'm running out of colors now, so I'm going to do a red one. Okay, and I'm going to measure this last one from there to there. So I'm measuring from this top point down to here. Okay, so I'm going to grab myself a circle. I'm going to come onto screen, make sure I just zoom it in a little bit. I'm going to pick that point there and measure it until it hits the outside edge. Then I'm going to copy this red circle from its center point and place it on our development graph. Okay, at that point I'm coming up and grabbing a polyline and going from the true height to the plan length. Now I need to put my developed circle, my true circle if you want to call it that, onto that bottom edge. Then I'm going to copy this circle to that point there, and it can only, this particular one can only go one side, because if you look at it, That distance is far shorter than that distance. It's an offset. Okay. So that one being done, we now have that point. So I could go back, change my layer to bilayer, grab a polyline, and go from there to there to there. And just like before, it looks, because it's on that angle on the circle, it looks like it's not 90, but you could check it. It should be 90 degrees. And last but not least, and I think I'm going to go grab a different color. I'm going to grab an orange. Okay. I'm going to do the last circle that we're going to need, which goes from the known point, which is up there, down to that point there. Now I'm going to copy our orange circle by its center point and place it down here. Then I'm going to grab a polyline from the end of that to the point of intersection. That's our true length line. And then grab our last circle from there and measure the true length line with the circle. That's the radius, which is going to go up here on the right hand side. That's that point there. Okay, so now I'm going to copy it, copy the large orange circle from the true height to that point there. Last but not least, I'm going to come up and grab the bilayer so that I'm back on white. I'm coming from that top point to the point of intersection and down to the base to complete the pattern. And that is the entire pattern complete. What I will do though is, just so that you can see it clear, is I will create another layer. So that's layer 2. I will get all of my circles, that's those two, and all of these ones. Then these 3 circles over here. Right click, properties, going up to layers, and I'm going to stick them all on layer 2. Shut that down, click on that, go off on layer 2, and basically now you can see the completed pattern. And just for anybody that doesn't think that this one's correct, the angular measurement, so just let me click on angular. The angular measurement between this one and this one is 90, and I'll do the repeat between this one and this one, it's 90. So those two are correct. I'll just drop that on there. This pattern is complete. I hope you've had fun with this, and I hope that bent your mind a little tiny bit, because we're dealing with some surfaces that are flat and multiple edges that are bent in. But that's the end of this second exercise. So submit this with or without the 90-degree angles. That's just really for you to check, and I'll see you in the next exercise.